You're very welcome everyone once again to the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign. In today's video we're going to look at an exclusive article written by investigative journalist Nicola Tallant in the red top rag, the Sunday World, and it's Sunday, June the 25th, 2023. And you can see it there, Border Bandit and Natural Brown Killer. What wonderful, how intelligent and fantastic headline writers these people are. Absolutely stunning work. And we have a double page spread here of Aaron, and this is on a trip Aaron was at the Mater Hospital. I'll actually put it up on the screen for you here. There we go, there's the double page spread inside. And these pictures were taken this week as Aaron exited the Mater Hospital. He was up for a check. He had an injury to his right shoulder when he was very young, and quite a severe nerve damage in his right shoulder. And I think it would be prudent to mention here that it took a lot of interactions with the Minister of Justice, the Department of Justice, the Irish Prison Service and Portlaoise Prison to secure proper treatment for Aaron with the nerve injury to his right shoulder. And this is obviously the product on the follow-up to his treatment. And indeed, some people have asked us already, how come a Sunday World photographer was standing outside the Mater Hospital when Aaron Brady was coming out of the hospital to head back to Portlaoise Prison? Well, sources have told us that one of the prison officers you see there, when they exited the van, when they arrived at Mater Hospital, one of the prison officers got out of the van, took a picture of the front door, or of the door they were going into, and sent it to someone. Now, we could be jumping the gun here, that a prison officer, and indeed the prison would be able to tell us, that the prison officer had to take the picture of the door for logistical reasons or security reasons. But we are suggesting that that prison officer took a picture of the front door and sent it to a journalist or to a photographer. And the result was, when Aaron exited the Mater Hospital after his appointment, the photographer was there. All I do hope, or all we do hope, is that if the prison officer did send that picture to either a photographer or to a newspaper reporter, I sincerely hope, and we do sincerely hope, he gets some value and enjoys his 50 quid or 300 quid, whatever amount of pieces of silver it is he got. We do hope he and all belonging to him do sincerely enjoy it. And when we look at this picture a little bit more closely, we have to again, as has been the case with a lot of these articles in the newspaper, when we look into them properly and look at them properly, it actually confirms 100% what we have been seeing during the course of Aaron's campaign. And if I bring this picture up here like this, there you have it. Aaron Brady is not 6'1" or 6'2". He cannot be the man who shot and murdered Detective Guard Adrian Donoghue. We have a picture here with 3 officers or 3 people alongside Aaron, and you can see clearly, unless there are 4 officers, or 3 officers approximately 7 foot tall in Portlaoise Prison, there is something seriously wrong with the evidence and with Aaron Brady's conviction. So we have covered this on numerous occasions. It is the basis, it is the foundation of how this case is so corrupt. Detective Garda Joe Ryan, who was alongside Detective Guard Adrian Donoghue on the night of the murder, told the court back in 2020, and he reiterated again this year in February in the CCJ in Dublin. And he confirmed that the man who shot and murdered his partner was 6'1" or 6'2" inches tall. That same information was confirmed by Mary, the credit union worker, who said the gentleman with the long bar was long and athletic. The CCTV footage shows that the man with the shotgun is much, much taller than the second gunman who had a handgun. And again, we must reiterate and get this across, Joe Ryan had perspective. So as we've always said, as he looked at the man who shot his colleague, he had a second radar to judge the height by. And as we have always said, if Aaron Brady was the man with the shotgun, it would therefore logically pan out and show that the second radar was a dwarf. He would have been under 5 feet tall and obviously therefore would be in the realms of dwarfism. It is as simple as that. So once again, Nicola Tallant has proven, and the photographer has proven clearly that what we have said all along is 100% correct. Detective Joe Ryan describes the radar 1 with the shotgun as 6'1" to 6'2" tall. And that is the base, that's the starting point. But yet that's not mentioned in this article. Now, I know we have full 3 pages here from Miss Tallant, but I think there's 600 words in it altogether. There are a couple of opinionated statements in the article, and we can't really go into them all. Some of them we've covered before, and it's just in an attempt to betray and paint a picture that is totally and utterly false. Now, we have always said during the course of Aaron's campaign that Aaron is in excellent condition, both mentally and physically. And once again, Miss Tallant and the photographer, thank you so much for proving what we are saying is correct as regards Aaron's physical condition. And therefore we say in the follows that his mental condition, and he is prepared for that appeal and for the retrial. So, as I say, these attempts, character assassination attempts are always very useful for the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign. Now, we had a situation where the Irish Light, a paper created by Gemma Doherty, had a back page. That's it there. Now, we sent this into Aaron in a couple of different formats, and the Governor of Portlaoise Prison said it was not allowed. Aaron was not allowed to have this because they said it was propaganda, because it says Aaron Brady is an innocent man, and they wouldn't let it into the prison because it was deemed propaganda. So I don't know what realms of reality these people are living in. Are they suggesting that Aaron didn't know he was innocent unless he read this? Is he not entitled to read what is sent into him? And we'll see how that develops, and we'll look for a written explanation, and we'll bring that to you as and when that happens. Once again, in relation to the sloppy journalism, Nicola Tallant, I'm just going to bring it up here. You can see here that Miss Tallant has blocked the Justice for Aaron Brady Twitter account. Now, it's very difficult to understand this. I'm sure, Miss Tallant, you're a very capable investigative journalist. So let's look at this blocking of Aaron's Twitter account. We have never insulted you. We have insulted your newspaper now. I have to say, we have questioned, and there is ongoing proceedings with the Press Ombudsman in relation to a previous article that was put into it. But I think we're entitled to question an article that we say is false. But we have to question, as an investigative journalist, are you not best placed to watch what's going on in relation to the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign in the biggest and most extensive investigation in the history of the Irish state? And I see here you have your page, Crime World, and I'm reliably told this morning that you have podcasts and you actually bring this live on stage, a show, Crime World, where you discuss some of the bigger cases on the island. And I will say, as I've said to numerous journalists, Miss Talent, we are more than happy. The Justice for Aaron Brady campaign are more than happy to sit down with you at any given time. Either here, in our own home, in a theatre in Dublin, in a studio in Dublin, anywhere. I'll sit on top of the mountain and speak to some of the mainstream journalists. Use continually, as journalists, mention sources. I think you do mention it here today, a source, according to sources. I'll write source across my head here. I'll become a source. I'll just get a baseball cap with source written on it. I have no problem sitting with any of you. But at some stage, and you've proven it beyond any shadow of a doubt, Miss Talent, Aaron Brady cannot be the man who shot and murdered Detective Garda Adrian Donoghue. And in this article this morning, and please, I would urge people to get the article and look at the photographs correctly, but read the article, and Miss Talent gives some of the impact statements given by the Donoghue family. And obviously we were in court for those impact statements, and we've always said, obviously there's a number of families involved in this situation. And if one scintilla of what we have said over the course of 215 or 220 videos, if one scintilla of that information is correct, it simply tells us that the man who shot and murdered Adrian Donoghue is not in prison. Now, I don't care where you're coming from on this expose, an exclusive. Someone goes to the hospital. Big exclusive, very good. But it's clickbait, it's gutter journalism, but at the heart of it, you do have statements from Garda Adrian Donoghue's family. Okay? And this is very, very vitally important. Justice for those people who are looking at this. Justice for the man who lost his life. And I cannot understand how yourself, Nicola Talent, along with your cohorts of other investigative journalists, and we can list the issues you could check out just like that. No problem whatsoever. Times. I do believe there was a female journalist inquiring about Daniel Cahill, who you've also mentioned in this little expose as the star witness. Now, we do know Robin Schiller knows Daniel Cahill's history, and I think you say here about Daniel Cahill being the main witness and telling Garda that he heard Brady admitting to murdering Garda and had been circulating on social media. So what's going to happen is, once again, our campaign will focus back on Daniel Cahill now that you've raised him again, Miss Talent. But there was a female journalist making inquiries, and those journalists who did make the inquiries are fully aware of Daniel Cahill's history in Dublin. Fully aware that his legs was ripped with a knife prior to him leaving Dublin. Fully aware that he is not welcome back in Dublin. Fully aware of his podcasts in America, where he admits to his past in Dublin. You are fully aware of the holes and the inaccuracies in his testimony. So there's a number of issues. It's only 600 words of an investigative piece, shall we call it. So there we have it. The height. Aaron Brady cannot be, it is shown clearly, him standing beside the prison officers. He cannot be the man who shot and murdered Detective Garda Adrian Donoghue. You mentioned about his family and their need for some sort of justice, and hopefully somewhere along the line some form of peace. But if his killer is not in jail, that cannot be the case. You mentioned Daniel Cahill, and you mentioned another video that was released, Ronan Flynn, which we will be detailing again. Now that you've raised it again, we will go back and look at Ronan Flynn, Christopher Morton and Anthony Maguire. Those will be detailed in the next few weeks, and I think we have been more than patient with dealing with these people. But more information that we do have and the recordings we have of these people will have to be put forward. Once again, the invitation is there to Nicola Tallant or any of the mainstream journalists or any, even the ragtop Sunday World newspaper. Let's have a look at the facts. Let's have a look at the details and see who is telling the truth. So once again, Nicola, thank you so much for your expose and helping us get our story across, our story, which is the truth. And please unblock the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign, because I think as an investigative journalist on this island, you should be aware of what everyone is saying and not just a curated and manufactured story that was written for you by the press office of An Garda Síochána. If you wrote it yourself, please let us know. But I do have a feeling from I've heard it all before in other guises, and it would seem to be rhetoric and a certain narrative that is portrayed by the Garda press office. But if you wrote it all yourself, if that's all your own work, Nicola, that's fine. We'll discuss that also. So once again, thank you to everyone for watching. This is going to be, I think, a more frequent thing now coming up to the sentencing in September of the other two men that were tried for the robbery at Lordship Credit Union, and obviously coming up to Aaron's appeal. But we will be able to counteract any and all gutter journalism that throws this clickbait. I suppose it's journalism to some extent. So that throws this journalism at us. Thank you to everyone. Once again, we are being severely attacked on all our social media sites and Aaron's website. And again, I will repeat, even Nicola Tallant, any of the investigative journalists, why are they attacking our sites? Why are we being shadow banned? If we were telling any lies, why would we be shadow banned? The only reason we are being attacked is because we are telling the truth. So the invitation stands to all investigative journalists here in Ireland, and please feel free to contact us through any of Aaron's social media sites or indeed Aaron's website. Thank you to all the public for watching. Thank you for all your interactions and your messages. We have to respond to a couple of messages. I'll do that in the upcoming week, and we'll see you all again in the next video. And thank you. Please, please, please like, comment and share. We need to fight back against the way we are being attacked on our sites. Thank you once again, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.